Hey there, and welcome. So we've all spent the last decade talking about FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. But what if I told you there's a new fear in town? One that's a lot quieter, way more personal, and honestly can be a whole lot more damaging. Today, we're gonna unpack this thing called FFO, the fear of finding out.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? That little pause, that pit in your stomach right before you click open that email or log into your banking app. It's that little voice in your head whispering, maybe we just deal with this later. It's a feeling a lot of us are getting way too familiar with.
And yeah, there's actually a name for this. This isn't about worrying what everyone else is up to. Nope. This is all about what you might find out about your own life. So welcome to the era of FOFO.
All right, so to really get a handle on this shift, we need to be clear on what we're talking about. Let's break down what these two fears actually are. The one that pushes us out into the world and the one that makes us want to hide from it.
First up, our old pal FOMO. This is all about looking outwards, right? It's that constant social comparison, that nagging feeling that somewhere someone is having more fun, being more successful, and you're just not there. It's an outside pressure to keep up.
And then there's FOFO. This one is a whole different beast. It's an internal fear. It's that deep dread of confronting a reality that might be uncomfortable, so you just choose not to. It's the whole, if I don't look at it, it doesn't exist mindset.
And this table really lays out just how opposite they are. Look at this. FOMO is driven by external social pressure, and the action is to join in, to run towards the crowd. But it leaves you feeling kind of inadequate. FOFO, on the other hand, is driven by your own personal anxiety. The action? To hide, to avoid. And the feeling isn't inadequacy, it's just pure dread.
And please believe this is not just some niche little feeling. A recent survey found that a staggering 3 out of 5 adults actively put off health screenings simply because they're scared of what the results might be. Just let that sink in. That's FOMO in the real world, and it has huge, life-altering consequences.
But here's the thing. FOFO doesn't show up alone. It's actually part of this bigger, modern fear family. It's this whole collection of new acronyms that perfectly describe the weirdly specific anxieties of our time.
Just look at some of FOFO's cousins here. You've got FOBO, the fear of better options. That's what keeps you scrolling on Netflix for an hour. There's FOPO, the fear of people's opinions, which can totally shut down your creativity. Heck, there's even FOLU, the fear of leveling up, where the stress of new responsibilities actually stops you from taking that promotion. Each one is a little trap designed to keep us stuck.
Let's just zoom in on FOBO, the fear of better options for a second. This one question, it can be absolutely paralyzing. It's what keeps you endlessly swiping on dating apps, or maybe worse, stuck in a job you don't love just in case that perfect thing comes along.
So, this begs the question, right? Why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Logically, we know that facing the music is always better in the long run. Well, the answer is hardwired right into our brains. This phrase just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures our brain's natural avoidance response. It's a survival instinct, really. When you're faced with a potential threat, whether it's a scary diagnosis or a huge bill, your brain's #1 job is to get rid of that discomfort right now.
It's all about this trade-off. Your brain will almost always choose the immediate relief of short-term comfort over the tough work of getting long-term clarity. We buy ourselves a little moment of peace by staying ignorant, but all that does is let the problem grow bigger and scarier in the dark.
So what's really fueling this FOFO monster? Well, it's basically this three-headed beast. We're afraid of getting bad news, we're afraid of what we'll have to do about it, and maybe the biggest one of all, we're afraid of the responsibility that comes with knowing the truth. The thing we imagine is almost always way worse than the reality.
Okay, we've talked about the problem, we've dug into the psychology. Now for the most important part. How do we fight back? Let's build your toolkit to break free from this cycle.
It really boils down to 3 powerful steps. First, it's a mental shift. You have to actively choose truth, even when it's scary. Second, you start taking small, deliberate actions to break that habit of hiding. And third, and this is my favorite, you learn to turn that big, scary, vague fear into cold, hard data. Because you can't solve the feeling, but you can solve a problem. And so here it is. Here's a direct challenge for you. This week, I want you to pick just one scary awareness task. Just one thing you've been putting off. Open that bill, make that phone call, check that account. Start small, build that muscle, and prove to your brain that you are capable of handling the truth.
And this could look like so many things. It could be finally scheduling that doctor's appointment, or sitting down for 30 minutes to actually look at your budget, or just talking to a friend about what's weighing on you. And listen, reaching out for support to a friend, a family member, a therapist, that's not weakness, that is a power move. It's one of the strongest things you can do.
So, as we start to wrap this up, the big takeaway becomes incredibly clear. When it comes to these modern fears, you can't outrun them and you can't hide from them. The only way out is straight through the middle. If you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. FOMO makes you run toward the crowd, chasing after what everyone else has. FOFO makes you hide from yourself, avoiding what's really going on inside. But you know what? Both of them are robbing you of the chance to live your own authentic life. And here's the thing to really hold on to. The power was never in the scary thing itself. The power was always in your avoidance of it. That's not just some nice saying on a poster, it's the absolute truth. The second you turn around and look your fear right in the eye, it starts to shrink. So, what fear are you going to face today?